Joined, not today by Willie Saylor, but by our Worlds crew to my left, permanently in vacation mode, with the mustache and the Hawaiian shirt. All he needs is some sort of a convertible that he rolls up in and throws on some shades. Andrew Spey. To my right, David Bray. He's been up watching Worlds, and straight away, almost getting us in some legal hot water, Kyle Brackey. He's playing John Farnham's You're the Voice right up to the start of the show, which we don't have the rights to that song. We have the rights to two songs in this company, and it's the intro and the outro for FRL.
But you said you had legal on the horn.
I had legal on the horn. We're trying to work through it, but we can't get Farnham's people.
Yeah, they're notoriously hard to reach.
You know what? I don't apologize.
That's why That's why we love Brackey.
You can't apologize. It's culpability. It's a whole.
Yeah. Okay, so little bit to discuss. Worlds is happening. We are mid-Worlds. I guess last time we did this show, we had no interplanetary discussions to have as far as what's happened. Get you up to speed. For Greco. The red, white, and blue has no Greco medals this year. We had one last year. It was Adam Kuhn. And a lot of our questions, I was kind of surprised. We had a lot. No, you guys do not ask about Greco ever. You do not talk about Greco ever. But when Greco does bad, everyone has lots of questions, right? So we can get to some of those. But I guess to start, it's just, should we be disappointed or should we have a little hope? I know, Bray, you and I have been talking a little bit about the Greco performance. What were your overall thoughts?
I mean, I think obviously it's disappointing to have no medals, and also disappointing to, in the year before an Olympic year, come out of the World Championships with not a single weight class qualified for the 2020 Olympics. So those two things are really disappointing. But I think, if you take the World Championship team and look athlete by athlete at their performance, really, a lot of the guys probably performed at or above expectations, which is disappointing in and of itself that our expectations are kind of at a point where we don't, we're not expecting medals. That's really not where our guys are ranked. That's not what we're expecting. And so, but I mean, look at a lot of the individuals. They did well. Max Nowry, probably best performance he's ever had. First time he made the team, coming off surgeries and made a medal match. Ellis Coleman beat a world medalist. On and on, right?
So it's kind of like, last year was the classic, because you get this question, what kind of performance would you rather have from your team? Like one great performance and then everyone does bad, or everyone does kind of good but you don't get any medals? And that's kind of what we had from last year to this year. Last year was, I think, a disaster, completely and totally, right? Bad performances all around except for Kuhn, who made the finals. It was like, okay, everything was terrible, but this guy did good. Whereas I feel like there were a lot of little victories along the way, and you outlined most of them, but I'm sure we won way more matches than we did last year, even with Kuhn not medaling, not even winning a match, right? So I think there is a little bit of progress. And our guy, Timmy Hands, he did a lot of Greco content for us, and I don't think any of us are going to sit up here and pretend to be experts of Greco-Roman, domestic Greco-Roman, etc. This guy is, right? And I think he puts it's a funny tweet. I'll just read it. Timmy Hands. Far too many don't know our guys, aren't with us through everything that precedes this one event, and then have takeaways and opinions laced with what sounds like ignorance and reads like hatred. And this is the best part. This is when I, a normally emotionless drone, feel compelled towards violence.
Yeah, nice turn of phrase there.
Timmy's a very good writer. So I think I agree with Timmy. I think a lot of people at this time of year think they have all the solutions. They're able to diagnose Greco's issues so well in their own opinion, which I do think there are some Johnny-come-latelys. I would not sit up here and pretend I have any of the answers for how Greco is going to improve. But I don't know, Spey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I can see exactly where Timmy's coming from. It is a thing where you look at just the results, and that's what a lot of people are doing, and they're seeing, posts that say so-and-so has been eliminated without a medal, and they're comparing it to a silver medal last year, but they don't see everything else that goes into it. And I think what Timmy's alluding to is the fact that going into these tournaments, if you are following Greco, you are prepared for stuff like this because you know where the guys are. You've been following the ranking series. You've been following how everyone's doing. I mean, Giangelo Hancock medaled in, I think, 4 major tournaments this year going into Worlds. But if you're following closely, you know that there are still a lot of guys out in his weight class that are on that same level. Yeah. And sometimes you get beat by those guys, and it's a unforgiving type of tournament with repechage, and sometimes you can go 0-1 and still wrestle to expectations, and you could still be a medal contender. And it's hard to look at the results, all the offers on the gold and the or in the medal matches and the qualifications for the Olympics. But I think there was really good. It's cliche, but there was really good fight out there, and you felt like they were more competitive this year than last year. And last year was definitely worse, even though Kuhn made it to the finals. You just see the guys are more competent out. Not competent, maybe is the right word, but more competitive, and you see a closeness in those matches. So yeah, it's rough,
I think one thing, one of the biggest points of contrast from last year to this year, thinking about the Greco team, is the mix zone, right? Like, think about the interviews coming out of 2018 Worlds, and it was just like, a lot of these athletes were indicting the whole Greco system, the coaching staff, the training, the preparation, and this year that wasn't it. And in fact, many guys, I think Ryan Mango was one, many guys made it a point to say, look, we were prepared, we worked on the right stuff, we're just not where we need to be yet. And I think that's a big difference.
A lot of guys were saying, hey, I didn't perform.
Yeah.
But they know how to get to that next level, and it's not something that you fix overnight with can we get one new thing, that new thing, something to change? It's systemic. You have to build a base of wrestlers and get them all to the next level.
Nomad last night tweeted that the most weight classes that any country has qualified in Greco-Roman right now is 3.
Yeah.
So it's it's a little bit of a different ball game just worldwide as well. It
must have a lot of diversity in medals for that many different countries to have.
Yeah, Russia only has 3 Olympic spots qualified. So
last Olympics we had B6 weight and Robbie Smith's weight qualified. Do we have any other weights qualified
at this point?
Yeah,
I don't.
Not
think
from
so.
Worlds. Bisic was bronze, and Robbie had that awesome match against Makov in Vegas. Those are the only 2 weights that got qualified for Rio.
Okay. So we don't have any. It's going to be tough, but there's a few weights where I feel like there's going to be some people in Pan Ams that are already out. One of my most famous, some of you don't remember.
I remember.
I know you do. In 2016, I was not sure of much. There wasn't much I knew going into the Olympic Games. I knew one thing, though. I knew that Ismael Barrero Molina was not going to win the Olympics.
Oh,
and I said,
bet the house.
I said, bet the house.
Just multiple bankruptcies.
Multiple bankruptcies. So
providence from you.
Listen, be bold, be brave was a core value at that point in time. And I was just trying to do what Martin thought was best. And that was a brave proclamation that blew up in my face.
Yeah.
Because he won kind of handily.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tore through
now,
that
his results
bracket.
going into Olympics, I could go back and say this, but you know what? I stand by the prediction. But then this man, he wins 59 Olympics. Amazing. He goes up to 67 and runs roughshod through a very good weight, including
probably the toughest.
And which is crazy because last year he was also at 67 and he had a kind of a mediocre performance. Was fine, but didn't do this.
Yeah,
a lot of variance in Greco results sometimes, just because I think this is kind of the nature of Greco. You see it, you watch enough matches. When guys get really, really good, the margins are razor thin. And you get a guy like Roman Vlasov, who's one of the all-time greats, and he goes down. No medal for him, but it's not like he's not bad. Yeah. He didn't become a bad Greco-Roman wrestler.
He might have though.
From before he entered the tournament to after.
Barrero Molino though, he's the guy with the style that I think fans want to see, right? He's
the Ferrari. He's
he's just bombing everybody. So much fun.
Yeah. So he's really, really good. And to quote The Who, we won't be fooled again. That's right. Molina. Okay.
Remember last year, Delkey went off on the coaching staff?
He went nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's much improved there. I'm surprised at how many people are surprised by our Greco performance.
Yes.
I think awareness has gone
I
up.
think that's what Timmy is like kind of referring to.
Yeah.
He's like, where are you guys? Johnny come latelys. This is the world's really good and we're not quite there yet. You should appreciate when a guy like Max Nowry gets fifth. That's progress.
Yeah. A guy like Ray Bunker making the team, like that is a monster leap for Ray Bunker. Not a monster leap forward for USA Greco, right? Like,
Right.
And a lot of the guys first time making the team, like, so, you know, we don't have that depth that we do in men's freestyle.
Right. Far from it. Okay. On the ladies' side, women's wrestling has begun. Jakara Winchester is in the finals at 55.
First medal.
First
tournament.
medal.
A guaranteed medal.
There's some sort of push-up situation that we have to do, or that got tweeted at
I
us.
never signed up for that. I said right from the beginning when I saw that, good luck, everybody. Enjoy the push-ups.
So far, it's not a major commitment. It's just one medal, silver.
It was per
guaranteed.
win, though. And the Greco guys did.
Per win?
I think.
No.
If you look
Yeah,
at-
no, I think you're supposed to do like 10 to win, and then it's like 50.
For gold.
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
and then like 20, 30 or
All right,
something.
think there
we'll
was
do the
8
total at the end, and I'll decide if it's.
Yeah. Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
The Greco guys had 8 wins. This is why, like, if you look at the totality, like, they weren't. They won matches that they weren't winning last year, if you look at the individual things.
Yeah. So that's solid.
And Jakar getting it done.
Jakara got done. Sarah Hildebrandt loses her quarter, I want to say. to
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, Makeda, yeah.
Tough match there. You know, the world's really good, and at these Olympic weights, it's really, really tough.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder. Condor lost as well, and then Victoria Francis she's in bronze match
She is.
by
By default, there were on her side.
She had to win a match.
She did win
She
the
won the
first
first
match.
match.
She beat Slater from Canada, and then lost in the quarterfinals to Berezna, who, you know, former world champ, I think 2013.
Yeah.
And then she has Palia from China in the bronze match.
Cool. So we'll have another medal match there. That will be our third medal match. So because we had Max, now
Yep.
Jakara, and then Victoria, and hopefully Sarah.
Yep. Sarah was in a really tough quarter, so she's gonna have a brutal repechage path tomorrow.
Man.
Vinesh Phogat, the Indian, did look really good in her opening match when she obliterated Sophia Matson,
Yeah.
who is
Who's also
multiple-time
good.
world
Awesome.
medalist. I think she might be a world champ. And then who did Mukaida? I
Mukaida,
think
yeah.
saw it. Everybody. So Sarah's got a tough one, but
Vinesh has a win over Sarah this year.
Kolov.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sarah's tough one, but there's no reason she can't come back.
No, I agree.
So we have
She does what she's capable
a
of.
few more days of women's wrestling, and then the men get kicked off Thursday night
Yeah.
for us. I keep trying to do the math. Would that be
It's Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night,
in the wee hours.
midnight.
Okay.
Midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern.
Okay. What about Hawaii?
Don't know.
Don't know. It's a different country.
Not even going to pretend.
No one even knows. Okay. So that's worlds. Any other worlds thoughts before we go to 157-pound tiers? Because this is going to be a...
I just can't believe the Western Hemisphere has only 2 of the 36 Greco-Roman spots. The whole hemisphere.
Yeah, the hemisphere. And
It's
then
rough.
countries like Venezuela and Colombia usually have
A
like some
guy.
dudes
Yeah.
every now and then. One guy's name was Wulexis. I always remember that.
Wow.
Solid name.
Interesting. So yeah, Asia and Europe, very good at Greco.
Yeah.
Our part of the world, not so much. We like the leg grabbing. A little more proficient at that. Okay, 157-pound tiers. 149 was a lot of fun. Kind of not a clear favorite. Nothing against Austin O'Connor. 157 is not super different, although I could get on board with Hayden Hidley being a clear favorite, but then you look at the results and maybe not. So here's the tiers. As done by not the Wrestling Nomad, who is normally our tier czar, we had to outsource it to Andrew Spey, who
I did them in the style of Nomad. So if you don't like these tiers, it's because I was trying to emulate Nomad.
Yeah.
That is a spin zone there.
Yeah.
I have issues. And we'll get to them.
In general or just with the tiers?
In general and with the tiers.
All right.
That was a good redunk there. Hayden Hidley, Caleb Young, and Ryan Deacon. occupy tier 1. I don't have any issues with that. I think that is probably appropriate for the first tier. Hayden is going to be my pick to win this weight this year, but you look at his season and he lost some matches. He lost to Larry Early. Caleb Young had a Barone loss, and Deacon had his ups and downs. Deacon was like the biggest mystery last year, how great he could look, and then how confusing some of his results were. And then at NCAAs he lost to Caleb Young twice. So
yeah, Deacon was my trendy pick to win preseason the weight class. Oh no, not Nolf. Yeah,
really,
the trendy pick to do really well. better than that.
That was what?
If I had picked him to
quite a trend.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but still had Nolf.
Yeah.
So. All right, and then at tier 2 is where I have issues. Larry Early, the third. Brady Berge, Eric Barone, not sure if it's Barone, but I say Barone. And then David Carr, to which I say, Eric Barone / Barone,
Yeah.
you have lost your mind. He is not his results, he is squarely tier 3. And he wasn't even strong at the end of the season. He lost to Griffin. He lost to he had not good performances. I'm not sure. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Yeah, I just took last year's rankings and kind of just started splitting them up.
All right. Well, that was a bad way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not the professional tier ranker. So you're saying Barone
Absolutely not.
is some phony
He
baloney?
he lost to Blythe at NCAAs.
He lost to Jaron Glosser twice.
Glosser has some wins. There's a ton of good Iowa guys.
Okay,
calling
so
that
Barone
mid-tier.
can't be tier 2 though. is the
Yeah,
point.
he's not tier 2.
Okay, I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Well, what's the point of you? You're putting these things, you don't want to give any resistance. Come on.
Yeah, is this where Nomad digs his heels in and says and tries to defend?
Well, okay, if you just agree with that, yeah. All right, I'll explain how.
He split matches with Perriott at Big Tens, right? Lost to Keyshawn Hayes.
Yeah, a tier 2 person should be someone you feel very confident will place and has the opportunity to enter title contending conversation. Now, one guy for me, Brady Berge from Penn State, and David Carr.
Yeah.
And really Ja'Cory Teamer. I could see all three of those guys knocking off tier 1 dudes. I mean, Caleb Young is tier 1. Brady Berge beating Caleb Young would not surprise me at all. As great as Caleb was at the end of the season, I feel like Brady moving up in weight is going to be right there. And I think Carr could be a tough matchup. I can see the pace of Young being problematic for him, and Carr has a tendency to just try to win by the minimum amount necessary sometimes. If he can, coming into his retro freshman year, has that 7 minutes of attacking, he's going to be really tough to beat for anyone at this weight class. But I could really see those guys and, as I mentioned, Ja'Cory Teamer entering that tier 1. Although, Ja'Cory I want to see a little more, especially at 157, because he was at 149 a lot of last year. But
yeah, that was the main thing. Ja'Cory's right on the fence there, and he definitely has the talent, but did not see quite enough in his redshirt year. So I kept him right on the bubble of tier 2. And maybe Eric Barone could be moved down with his inconsistent results. David Carr had a really awesome season at redshirt, but he's still lacking a lot of. But I mean, that's just due to
me, some of
tournaments that you enter. But he looked strong.
Some of it's results, but some of it is with these is you're trying to organize these weights. It's about our perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we believe they can do. There's no evidence that Eric Barone is going to ascend to the next level, especially at this point in his career. But someone like Ja'Cory Teamer, the talent he's shown, someone like Anthony Artolona, those are Will Luan.
Yeah.
Will really, he sticks out to me as someone that he could really come in. He beat Pantelio last year. I know it's his teammate. Those results you can kind of always be I don't know. He did have some weird losses. I know he lost to Elijah Cleary early in the year, but you figure, 1, his pedigree coming in. He's a cadet world champion. 2, he's in a great environment at Michigan where he's going to be optimized. He's got really good coaches and training partners. And the construction of the weight, I think he could be one of those dudes that ends up in tier 2 or someone that knocks off a Ryan Deacon or a Caleb Young. And, with another guy we're not talking about is Larry Early. He's beaten Hidley. He is a returning All-American. So I think it's a really fun weight. Bracky, how do you see this weight? What are some names that stick out to you?
Well, Talib Rahmani to me is like this wild card that could go like 1-2 at NCAA's or place. So I could see him sneaking up into tier 2. Artelona upperweight's interesting.
I feel like he was big last year. I think a weight change is going to do him some good. He was always in really close matches, as I recall. He was like undefeated in overtime or something.
Until the NCAA's, and I think he was like 1-1 in overtime at NCAA's. Yeah, it was.
And that's that famous kind of like adage or whatever that people always talk about, like it was like they talked about with Surtis back in the day. You keep playing that game, it'll eventually bite you. Now it didn't bite Surtis his freshman year, but towards the end there, it's a hard life to live when you're just in overtime constantly. But I think Artelona is really good. I kind of love this weight.
I mean, the thing about 157 that's pretty fun. If you kick Barone out of tier 2,
Poor Eric.
You did this.
Yeah.
If you had been
I did
like,
it in the style of Daniel Nomad.
No, if you looked at it and
It's a
been like,
forgery.
hold on, one of these things is not like the other, you would have done this, and we wouldn't have had to say, if you just put him where he belonged in the first place, we wouldn't have to get in there and expose him to the world to all his flaws. But you did this.
Now that it's happened, but if you think about a 3-person tier 1 and a 3-person tier 2, like just by the numbers, somebody from tier 3, somebody from tier 4 is gonna rise to
Gonna punch through.
They're gonna punch through. They're gonna do well. And this feels like a weight where I don't know if maybe by the end of the season we'll say, okay, somebody's definitely in a new tier, or if it's always gonna be we have this pack of guys that like any one of them at any given weekend could rise. And I kind of feel like that might be the case, right? Like I wouldn't be shocked to see Quincy Monday knock off somebody pretty good, right? We talked about Will Lewan. We've seen Griffin Perriott have decent wins at times.
Yeah. There's a guy, Jarrett J.Q.'s, Missouri,
Yes.
had his redshirt pulled, so he's still in, like, he could be entering his, redshirt freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has some talent, has some good wins, beat Larry Early. Qualified for the NCAAs as a true freshman and lost to Luke Weiland, who's another guy from Army. I have in tier 4. He's got some good wins. And then there's other guys down there. Zach Hartman, Logan Parks, BC LaPrade. They all have these, like, solid wins, but then you start looking at their resumes and there's some head scratchers, or there's some, all right, well, this guy is not, next level, but that's that weight class. I mean, you can go, everybody's got a 157 pounder. No roster is just like devoid there. That's just where most guys gravitate as they mature.
Anthony Artelona 7-0 in overtime last year.
Wow. He's got to get to OT.
Wow.
That's a good stat.
Just get this man to sudden victory.
I think Will Lewan won like 4 sudden victory matches in a row in that first tournament, the Michigan State Open or something, where he beat Pantaleo. It's a good way to start your career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 guys, 2 true, and as you look for guys who can ascend, you look for youth, right? Guys that maybe hit their stride. Humphreys and Hartman for Lehigh and Bucknell, respectively. 2 true freshmen last year. They had really solid seasons. Questionable consistency, but overall good years. They were both ranked pretty much the entirety of the year once they entered the rankings.
I think they split matches.
Yeah,
they're both EIWA Pennsylvania schools. See each other a good amount.
So I could see those 2 guys ascending, jumping levels there. So all in all, I think this is a really, like, there's some weights that are just like not as good. I think this is a good. I think there's a lot of talent here, and while there's some guys that at the top that I'm excited about with Hidley and Young and Deacon, they've all shown vulnerabilities last year. There's no like lock like there was last year with Nolf, who almost lost to Hayden Hidley.
Yeah. It feels like a weight where, because there's like, such little gap between so many of these guys, like this weight class in a lot of dual meets is going to be a big question mark. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Iowa, Penn State in particular, and, Caleb Young, Brady Berge. I'm already like circling that matchup. I'm curious how that's going to look. That should be fun.
Yeah. That's going to be for the team race.
Yeah.
That Caleb Young needs to hold off Brady Berge. Like that's going to be one of those things as we come into this year, they need to keep that lead at that weight class. They can't start giving up. Where they have a strong foothold, they can't have this guy come in and be scoring more points than them, because it's going to be this team race is going to be super close, and things like that are going to make a huge difference. And that's why I think, and I'm sure Penn State knows that, obviously, and Berge coming into this year he's going to be an interesting character.
I don't know if my memory is like deceiving me on this, but I feel like at this time last year, if you would have told me in a year Caleb Young will be in Tier 1, I think I would have been surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he dropped down, he was 74 for for almost all of 2 years ago, right? Yeah. And then dropped all the way down to 57. I mean, you got to fight to get into the Hawkeye lineup. There's no guaranteed spots anywhere.
Yeah.
And then once he got there, and once he started wrestling, he became one of those guys that started racking up the wins and earned himself All-American.
His lone kind of performance that was out there was the Barone loss, interestingly. But other than that, he was pretty consistent. If he can get to his offense a little more frequently, I think he can hold the Tier 1 spot, but he's definitely going to be one where he's going to get everyone's best shot this year. I think coming into last season, it was kind of like, okay, Caleb Young, nice, solid Pennsylvania wrestler, Punxsutawney, let's make Groundhog Day references.
Yep.
Now, he's more than Groundhog Day. He's like a legit title contender that's going to get everyone's best shot. And there's a year's worth of film on him, so he's going to have to get, up to speed there.
Yep.
So looking forward to this weight. Bracky, any thoughts there?
No, I think Hayden's the favorite, and if he wrestles like he did NCAAs last year, probably winning a chip.
What does it mean for NC State if he does? I mean, where are they team-wise with those kinds of points, right?
What is their lineup look like? NC State's going to be an interesting team this year.
They have a lot of tall, skinny guys.
Yeah.
The Heidleys are they're kind of outside the typical.
Yeah.
Especially Trent.
Yeah, they're doing a couple bulk
kind
jobs.
of a fire hydrant guy.
Trent is up at 84. Nick is going to be up at 97. Mm-hmm. Those guys were both.
Camacho at 25 will be really interesting.
I continue to be very high on Camacho. Who are they looking?
Tariq at 41.
Tariq at 41 is going to be still cutting a ton of weight. He's
enormous. Dude, at Raleigh for trials, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, is that Tommy Gant? No. Nope. Sam.
Couple of bullards.
Is that Timmy McCall?
Yeah. So they were doing a promo shoot the other day, and Tariq was they tweeted out a video of Tariq flexing behind the green screen, and he looks big. And Pat Pop quote tweeted and said 160 pounds and tagged Tariq.
Wow.
Okay.
You can go 40.
I have a lot of thoughts about the media day stuff, but my favorite is when they Jaden Ironman gets a takedown at Big 12s, and it's this picture of him flexing clearly 25 pounds ago. It doesn't even look like the same guy. They all have beards and stuff. No one
smoke
and
big smoke
Tariq responded, just some gains over the summer.
Gains.
That's right. So who's gonna be their 33? Trombley?
I believe Trombley.
So they'll go Camacho, Trombley, Tariq Wilson. 49, maybe a bit of a struggle for them. I don't know if that'll be Grippy.
Could be Grippy. I could see Tariq sliding into 49.
Well, he can only wrestle one of those weights. We checked. 57, Hayden. 65, are we going one of the Bullards, right?
I think so.
Double dose of Bullards, Thomas and Daniel.
Back to Bullards, then Trent, Renan, and then heavyweight, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing at Treffen.
They have a couple options, but I don't know if it's decided.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have quite the firepower to push for another trophy, but I think that's a top 10 team.
Yeah.
With could get top 5 if Hayden wins and Tariq makes a deep run, and Trent. I think Trent's gonna be really good this year. I can't wait to watch him this season. And at 184, it's gonna have Zahid. We think, we know. But beyond that, it's not going to be the most established weight class. So that's another weight where a freshman can do well. And Nick Renan, despite regrettable parenting, has the chance to be really good.
ACC is going to be fun with them in Virginia Tech.
I feel like he's been a little snake bit. 74, I think his true freshman year, I think he was too big. And then he got hurt when he was having a really good season. So now I think if he's up here big, and if you think about Nick when he was really good, it was when he was like not the biggest, 95 or 220, but he was like he could go with all these guys. So I think at 97 he's going to do great. He's athletic. So I look for him to do well. And at 190, you know, when we talk about 197, it's like,
oh yeah,
that's a different weight. And NC State of all schools knows that.
Yep.
With Machiavello winning 2 years
How about Trent last year, 24-2, his 2 losses to Joe Smith and then David McFadden in tiebreakers.
Both in tiebreakers?
The Joe Smith one wasn't, but McFadden was.
And I know we don't want to make too much of freestyle results, but he just looks so positionally solid at Junior Worlds. Underhook just
good luck moving that guy.
Yeah,
around the mat.
right. yeah, and that's the
He's
kind
not
of
going where he doesn't want to go.
that's a style that's gonna put him in every match.
That's one of the things for me with Trent. It's like, man, is he too underhook reliant? Is he gonna have to be there? Is he gonna get game plan? But man, if you're doing it at the Junior World level, I don't know. We'll see. And there is something different about how he uses his upper body stuff just differently. It's like such a pounce, and he's really explosive with it. It's like he doesn't get to it to just like hold. He blows through you.
Yeah, a lot of times he's the underhook guy. You see him kind of stand up straight a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like still in his stance, moving forward. I think it'll work.
I like him a lot. So that I don't know what kind of just deviated to NC State. Interesting team for next year. All right, let's get into some questions from friends. Nathan Wynn, what's going to be the biggest surprise at Worlds? What does Kyle Brackey think? What's going to be the biggest surprise at Worlds?
It's a good question.
If it was predictable, it's not.
Yeah. We don't know.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
I think I'm going to stick with Graf does really well. I think Graf is going to have a really nice tournament.
I think the non-Olympic weights are going to be the toughest to predict. The bronzes, the other medal matches. It's pretty easy to predict Jaden Cox and Kyle Dake to be the gold medal favorites at 79 and 92. But you pick the bronze medals ahead of time in those brackets, and I will be extremely impressed.
I think the biggest surprise for me from what we've seen so far, so this is not a prediction, but a result, is Japan not qualifying the weight for the Olympics with 50 kilos this morning.
Yeah.
Seen Erie go down, and then Sun gets beat in the semis, and so Japan not qualified at a weight class. Like I don't think I would have predicted that.
Me either. You just say, well, they're going to be top 5
every weight,
at
every time.
weight.
That's a good thing for women's wrestling, that parity is catching up, and that is not, to me, I don't think that's a sign of Japan regressing or somehow not having a good system or good wrestlers. I think it's a sign that the rest of the world, especially China now, is upping their game in women's wrestling.
Yeah. No, that is a surprise. What's probably the biggest surprise at Greco? Is it Molina just destroying everyone?
It has to be.
Right?
Yeah. His path was like he beat 3 world champs. And his path was crazy, and it wasn't just like he was winning these squeakers, like he was just murdering everybody.
I'd like to know what's up with Alexanian, how he makes the finals and then forfeits. Artur Alexanian, Armenian, 90.
He was kind of in a pound for pound conversation there.
Yeah.
He won 4 in a row. He did like a Tiger Slam style where he won Olympics and then 3 worlds around it, but not like literally 4 in a row or like a whole cycle.
Wasn't 2 Olympics.
Yeah.
But then entered Budapest last year, and he had like a Armenian camera crew following everything he did. It was like one of the biggest stars of the tournament, and then lost really early. Was clearly hurt, and then we didn't really hear much from him. Then he loses to D'Angelo Hancock this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In I forget the exact tournament, but that was big news. But then it's like he's healthy, makes the finals, and then it's Avlov, the Russian that won last year, who looked really, really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was hyped as one of the biggest Greco matches, and then we don't get it. And I didn't hear anything. I can't read Armenian, so there could be an Armenian post out there somewhere explaining he got hurt or this or that. I don't know, but that was a bummer.
That's really weird.
Probably not that he was intimidated by Avlov's red hair, but I haven't heard anything saying that it was not that.
Until he's on the record.
So probably not.
Sticking up for your people.
You know what we didn't talk about? Go back. Braxton Amos
Oh,
to
snap,
Wisconsin.
Mm.
Holy cow.
Big
Pittsburgh
deal.
zone.
That is a huge deal. And I early in the process, it was like, okay, it was like all the blue bloods, and then Wisconsin was in there. You're like, oh, cool, good for Wisconsin, kind of getting in there in the mix with a blue chip guy, right? And then it was like, as time went on, it was like, whoa, Wisconsin is really in this thing. And then towards the end there, I know, Bracky, you kind of felt like it was trending that way.
Yeah, I thought all along, like even like a couple years back, this was between Ohio State and Oklahoma State. And then like when Kirkley went to Ohio State, it felt like even stronger that he could go there. And then I know he spent like a couple weeks in Stillwater this summer and was even at like Final X Lincoln with like Plot and a couple other Oklahoma State guys. So that felt really strong. But then the past few weeks, Wisconsin just, I mean, they were the last visit he took, so they got the last crack at him.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like it was trending that way. I think Braxton and the family really believe in Bono and Reeder and what they're building. And obviously it's a great academic school, and Braxton's a really smart kid. I think it's a great fit. He's going to buy in, and he's going to work his tail off. And for Wisconsin, what a get, man. In second year, Bono's there, and he's getting a top 3 pound-for-pound kid, or a big board kid. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, the number 2, I think he's number 2 pound for pound, number 3 on the big board or whatever he is. I mean,
3 on the big board.
And I think you kind of you said it. I mean, this is as far as, and I think I tweeted something along these lines, like with Braxton, he's really talented. I think he's really good, but you're not going to have any of the extracurricular headache BS at all. This is a squared away kid, great family, great student, and I think in general, to get to this level, I think anymore, like the top 5-ish guys, the level of discipline required to reach that is like you're going to be, because wrestling is so competitive now, I think you have to be a really high caliber kid, but I think Braxton for sure, and I think he's someone that he's going to be able to help take the torch from Seth Gross, and it'll be him and Hilger moving forward. I think he's going to be really good. He's at a good weight. He's going to be able to train with Reeder. I feel like he is a super safe recruit that's going to do really well for them.
There's one question about Braxton that it remains to be seen how this is going to translate. At the NCAA level, obviously he's very talented, but will he shake with his left hand to start matches? Because that, once the book is out, once the film is out on a guy, I don't know how often that's going to work. I hope we see it. It's something you really love to see.
Well, you best believe Bono and Reeder are all over that.
And then you start thinking like the momentum this is going to create on the recruiting trail when other guys see like, man, Braxton's going there, like he believes in them.
It is going to be interesting to see how they fit. If they just got Peter Christensen, brother of Ryan, who I think never all married, 4-time national qualifier. But I know there's talk of maybe Peter can cut down to 84 because Braxton's not cutting to 84.
No.
And then they got Hilger at heavyweight. I'm not sure if Braxton can move up at some point.
No.
I mean, they have options. But
I'd be really surprised if Braxton was ever anything but a 97.
Yeah, we've gotten a few questions about that. Braxton definitely plans on being a 97.
He's not that tall. He's not particularly tall, so I don't even think he has a frame. If he was like a guy, I don't think he has the frame to even be a heavyweight like a Snyder did or whatever.
Feels like if you have a pretty sure thing recruit at 97, that's like one of the best possible weight classes. Like it's, it doesn't tend to be quite as deep. Like we've already talked about 97 on the show today. Like it's a really nice weight class to feel pretty confident about the points you're going to get. And I think that's really smart by Bono and Reeder to invest in that weight class because it's more likely you're going to have a sure result, right? Like you could develop a really, really solid 49 pounder and they still don't make the podium, maybe ever, right? But 97, you would think we'll see Braxton right away making waves.
Now you kind of only have really one domino left to fall in that 2020 recruiting class, and that's Ferrari.
Mm-hmm. Ferrari?
And now you, like, go ahead. I think you're going to talk about the Ohio State thing.
This man puts on his Instagram, if he gets 10,000 likes on a post, he will commit to Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's being committed to posting.
This is what I'm saying.
On the internet.
Love AJ Ferrari. I'm here for all the Ferrari hijinks. But that's something Braxton Amos is gonna do, right? Like,
Did you see?
Maybe he's just having fun with it, but I don't know.
Did you see what he posted over the weekend?
With the
Ferrari
weights?
with the Penn State.
Yeah, he's shrugging the.
He goes feeling out Penn State Wrestling's new 150-pound dumbbells, and
was
he's
feeling
doing
them out.
shrugs.
I was
with
feeling
them.
him.
Gonna have to use them a bunch. I mean, what if you commit somewhere and then their 150-pound dumbbells are just not you're not feeling them.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
You got to put your hands on.
You gotta
those
know.
things.
You gotta know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So AJ is the last domino. Willie believes he's going to Oklahoma State still. I think he said that, but something about. Has he already visited Oklahoma State?
I don't think so.
Okay.
John Smith's
I
been
don't
in his
see
home.
any videos of him lifting dumbbells, being on the field of the football game. I don't think he has yet.
All right. So
He was in Austin for Round Rock for a semi-recruiting trip with
Love it.
Oklahoma State has done an in-home visit with him.
okay.
I know they posted a picture of John Smith with him and his dad and stuff.
I'm pretty sure he said he's making his decision in like September, October. So I think after he takes all his visits. My point here is, does John Smith have the hammer here? Is he going to have the last word with AJ? Because if so, that I don't know if that does matter, but you have to feel like that kind of recency thing is going to affect. And I feel if Penn State was his last visit, I'd be like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
gonna be tough for him. It's gonna be tough for him to say no to Kale, right?
He's hard to read because like following him on social, it feels like every place he goes, he is just like so excited to be there.
Yeah.
He's so impressed. He's like, this is amazing. You know, it's like
I know. I really
I like that.
thought Rutgers had a good chance after Final X,
Yeah.
but then like after seeing him post like about Ohio State and Penn State, now I'm like, there's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unlikely that he goes there. So it'll be AJ's very good prospect, interesting guy. I like him a lot. Curious to see where he winds up. So we'll keep you posted on that one. Someone asked, Jake Fitzsimmons asked, Amos or Beard, better career? Hashtag asking for a PSU fan. So I don't know. I mean, Beard, I feel like could have a real. I mean, the fact that he's going to Penn State, there's a bump there, right? In terms of how good you'll probably be, just in general for guys. So that's tough. But also, we haven't seen a lot of Beard recently, so I don't know.
Yeah, deferred eligibility, so he's still entering as a true freshman. And then we don't know if Kyle Cannell is. We know he's enrolled, but we don't know if he's
got the eligibility. Yeah.
So we could see Beard right away. We could wait another year before really seeing him in a full NCAA season. That's a tough one.
I'll say Amos just because I like him more.
I feel like when I read the question, my gut is to say Amos, but man, those Penn State guys.
I know.
Like and the thing about Penn State guys too is they will sometimes like disappear off the map for a little while, like Kassar did. You're like, oh, okay, I guess he's not really ever going to get in the lineup. He's hurt.
And then he
he's
becomes
whatever.
one of the best in the NCAA.
And then, yes, and then he just like beats Gable Steveson. Like nobody thought he would do it. And he does it twice in a row. I mean, I thought Kassar, he's hurt. He's and then when he didn't make the lineup in the Shakur thing 2 years ago, I was like, well, I guess maybe we don't see him anymore. And then when the rumors came out, he's going up to heavyweight. It's like, well, he's got Nick Neville's in his way. Like he's not going to make the lineup. And then he's an NCAA champion.
Like in our fantasy draft, I don't even know when he got taken.
Oh,
right?
Mike picked him.
Of course,
and
Mike
he picked him extremely early, and we were all like, "He's not even going to start. Why was
Yeah.
this?" And
Well, I won't say that. I mean, I actually think many of us thought he was going to start. I think it was like, man, he wouldn't move up if he wasn't going to. I think. Well, I know Nickel was coming up, but I think the rumors were like he's already beating Neville's in the room at that point in time when he moved up to heavy. So I think we thought that, but I just think national title, I just didn't see that.
No.
Didn't see that at all. So yeah, Beard could certainly do that, and Beard still has 4 years
yeah.
and change, right? He has-
And if we
the
miss,
redshirt.
and if he defers again or red shirts, it's like he's going to hit the ground running when he finally does get in that lineup.
Yeah.
So if you end up comparing careers, maybe because of that maturity, it might end up helping him.
Yeah. Do you think it's a coincidence that a guy like Adam Kuhn starts training strictly Greco and performance goes down. Do you think our Greco guys would perform better at Worlds if they train freestyle and Greco? Well, Kuhn does train freestyle and Greco.
He won the U.S. Open in freestyle this year.
He was, yes. So, no. The variable is he wasn't doing folk style anymore. I think he needs to start doing some top and bottom to get his chop going. Huh?
Yeah, 3 styles.
Yeah. So that's the variable for Kuhn. He needs to start. No, I think it is a coin. I would say.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I would say his draw. I would blame his draw. Year over year is different, but that doesn't explain him losing to Meng.
I mean, the way he won last year is not sustainable, right? Like, once guys know you're gonna lock up that body lock and pin them, they're gonna game plan.
They're not going to let you pin them.
Yeah.
They're not
So
gonna,
hold on. Not letting this guy pin me.
Yeah, but you kind of adjust for one move, and then it becomes a very different match.
Yeah, I think one thing, if you don't follow Greco year round, which I do not, right? The nuances within the game, I can't even identify them, right? Like, I don't even know. But there's just like, I just know that it is a chess match. It's not just like, oh, it's upper body wrestling. Like, there's so much to it. There's so much complexity that I think it's really, really tough to just win one way.
If you want to jump into a really good Greco match, into the archives, Bisic Vlasov. I think it was Timmy Hands that
really good.
Tweeted about it or was in a conversation about it, is where I saw it. And I went back and watched that. And I mean, it's a back and forth match. Bisic has to come from behind, and you could see, because there's like,
He kind of broke him.
that's right. There's multi levels to it. There's like, all right, I have to set up like 4 different arm drags in advance to get a go behind or something like that. That doesn't look like an awesome, suplex or something, but it's still points. You get 2. And then it was like, then there's the wearing down factor. So if I wear you down as well, that whole battle is going on simultaneously to trying to score a regular point. So that to me was like the ultimate. Okay, this is high level Greco at its best, where you can see everything unfold. Plenty of opportunities to watch different parts of that in slow motion, go back, see how they scored. So yeah, to your point of high level Greco, more than just the finer details. That's one I would recommend.
Okay. That is a great match. Mo Pierre 3. The women's world team seems to have more fun than the guys. Any speculation as to why? I would say Cyndi Lauper said it best. Girls just want to have fun.
You're looking up Cyndi Lauper.
I was like, I was looking
I
it
had no
up.
idea where you're going with this.
Oh,
I'm peeking over at your computer like, okay, we're going.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this next question.
Yeah. When the working day is done,
Girls just want to have fun.
they just want to have fun.
I
They
mean,
just
there's
want to.
the Tamira
just
factor
wanna-
just ups your fun level when you have Tamira Mensah stock on your team.
Yes.
She is constant energy.
I
fun.
don't know what it is. I mean, it's just, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know that every women's team has had that vibe.
Yeah.
I think that they do. I mean, it does feel like a very connected group, and I mean, even the kind of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club athletes who, like Forrest Molinari kind of has that edge, but all the while it's in good fun, right? Like, it's like she's kind of in on the joke. Like, it's I don't know. I think they're really good at recognizing, like, the camera's on and this is an opportunity for us to promote, and I think they're doing a nice job with that.
Are all our teams better teams this year than they've almost ever been, as far as, like, Team USA unity? I know the Greco guys talked about it a lot. Joe Rao had that extremely emotional interview at the end of his tournament, when he was, he wants everybody to be at the Olympics. It wasn't him, if you listen to the whole thing. And the freestyle guys, so many of them are multi-year veterans now. So many have made, their 3rd, 4th team, whatever, Green, Gwiz. So it's like they're building a team, and then, like we just talked about with the women's team, they seem to be gelling a lot too.
The one difference with the men's freestyle team this year is we had the two weight classes that were like up in the air for so long this summer that it feels like sometimes we would get some of that, like, team bonding stuff happening at the training camps, and we would see the age level guys kind of really being embraced by the whole team, and so I don't know. I don't think that our men's freestyle team is is like less of a team than they have been in the past, but it does seem like they haven't maybe had the time to gel like that they did in the past. I don't know, but it's been maybe a little different in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, props to Vader for getting all the videos that everybody's watching. Of the behind the scenes stuff.
If Penn State, Iowa was in an arena that had the capacity of 100,000, what would the attendance be?
200,000.
Hashtag FRL questions. I think I don't know where the perfect geographic area would be. Would it be in somewhere in Pennsylvania? Would it be somewhere in Iowa? I feel like it could get to if it was end of the year, last duel of the season kind of thing. I think you get to 30.
Well, Iowa, Oklahoma State hit what, 45, 43, something like that in the football stadium. So I feel like
there was also a football game going on that day.
Well, I mean,
5 hours later, and the people were already there.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm not downplaying that, but that was a big impact on that. If that had just been a standalone wrestling event, you're probably looking at 20.
Okay, if the Super Bowl is going to happen an hour later,
okay,
proper
for
marketing.
Iowa Penn State, I predict 100,000.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's interesting, right? Maybe we didn't think about that.
But they came, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that is about. All right,
I see them more than 20.
I'll say 50.
If there was no,
50,000. Everything is done perfectly right to maximize. If we make every decision correctly to get the most people there,
right?
Especially for this year with the gravity.
Yeah, the team race implications up things for Iowa. I think if you're trying to just maximize attendance, there's a lot of things. I mean, you have free admission. You can do a lot of things that could help goose those numbers a little bit.
I do you one better.
Pay them to show up.
$40
Yeah.
if you come.
Wow. So if you had an unlimited budget and you marketed it and you went on TV and said everybody gets $100 if you stay for this entire match,
And
we're hitting
loud.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, we can hit that at 100K.
Okay. Brock Desert at 3 Count No Biscuit. Can we get Alien Hour this week?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a tease?
No.
No teases. No teases, Brock.
Wow.
Sorry, but I like it. Which I think this is an easy answer, but I'll let you guys answer it. Which guy in men's freestyle would you be most confident if winning by 2 with 30 seconds left? What about losing by 2?
It's the same person.
It's the same person.
It's Jordan Burroughs.
It's Jordan Ernest Burroughs. Every single time. It's the most. I know Sidikoff. Okay, for every Sidikoff, I'll give you 50 examples of the exact opposite happening.
That was one time.
That was one time ever.
Yeah.
This is the most. This is why Jordan is for me, favorite ever. How clutch this dude has been from 2011 to now is unbelievable. How many losable matches he's won. It is him. It is him.
What was the Final X highlight video we did that had
Tervel
Delagnev watching the match with Kyle Snyder just in the break room or wherever that was, just being like, man, you would rather be losing to Jordan in the last 30 seconds than
he's
winning
crazy.
by 1.
He's crazy. But it's better than him sprinting at you like a banshee.
But let me ask this question. So, yeah, obviously, Burroughs, we have so many memories of him doing it. But how often when you're watching a Burroughs match do you feel in yourself a sense of confidence? I'm never confident. I love it. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's like a roller coaster, but I'm never this is fine. I'm just gonna sit back. I'm confident. It is it's like nail biting every single time.
Yeah, I get equally nervous every time.
Who else on the team would you say? We haven't really.
Well, I think behind by 2, it's Burroughs. Up by 2, give me Dake. Who's scoring on Dake and how?
Jordan Burroughs.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's true.
It's 79.
Yeah.
At 79 kilos.
At 79, nobody. But yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. Dake with a 2-point lead with 30 seconds left.
David Taylor, if he was healthy, I would love to see him back in this 86 bracket because he came back against Yazdani, came back against Karugliev, has that withering pace where it's if he's down by 4 going into the second period, you're still all right, no, he's he looks okay.
What, 2 takedowns?
Yeah,
Well,
he'll get that in a
melting
turn and nothing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing coming into next year. David Taylor and that's gonna be one of the biggest stories as he comes back. But his pace is just He probably wrestles the highest pace of anyone on our team,
When you gas,
including Kyle Snyder.
you gas Hassan Yazdani, and that's how he wins. All
He
his
he gasses everyone in the world. He's probably going to do it again this year.
David
Everyone's
gassed
just
him twice.
gassed him twice.
Yep.
Once
Man.
we weren't sure if he was going to make it.
That was
The
awesome.
World Cup one was such a that was so tremendous. It was a lot harder at Worlds, but he did it. He got him that tired.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else before we go? We could give the people 5 minutes of free time.
There's got to be more, right?
There's not really that many good ones. Someone was mad that he feels like we only ask silly questions, but I don't think that's true.
We're a bunch of silly billies.
I think one, it was Daily Vitamin, which Daily Vitamin. No one wants to talk about or take their daily vitamins, right? But I think there's a good mix of funny, because I don't know if you guys know this, but the point of the show is entertainment, right? It's not education. It's not a class. It's not a course. There are no tests. Okay, we're trying to entertain. So you guys are funny, so we answer some of your funny questions.
We should come up with a quiz after every episode just to see how well everybody was paying
Yes.
attention. 10 question pop quiz.
Yeah, maybe that, but but I think we probably keep it 60-40, serious actual questions to not serious. But he asks repeatedly, like I know why he's saying this, because he's asked the same question about Chinzo and Spencer, like who's going to Chinzo Spencer Lee this year now that he's 1-2 and he's gonna lose, and we saw Chinzo lose after 1-2 and
Wow.
he's the next one. But I don't know.
You can't really.
I mean, there's a number of guys you can name that could beat Spencer Lee, but
that have, but at the same time, you're predicting something that it's not like two-time champs coming in for their third year
Yeah.
are expected to lose. That's it's a weird thing when it does happen.
It's happened to Aymar, it's happened to Chinzo, but
Yeah, I don't know that anybody will do that, but I mean, if Soriano goes down, that's interesting, right?
yeah, I mean,
But that's not somebody Chenzoing Spencer Lee.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and also, how about this? No one will be a bigger favorite than Aymar was over Chinzo or that Chinzo was over Makai.
Yeah.
Even with Spencer. Spencer won't be, if it's Spencer Soriano in the finals, no one's going to be like, lock it in.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think so. As great as the great Spencer Lee, he's the best. But he's going to be in a match with either someone who has beaten him,
Yeah.
Sebastian or Piccinini, or someone that, is maybe better than all those guys of Nick Soriano. So I think we're going to go into that match being like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Even if Spencer's like steamrolled through, like he has the last two NCAs where he's not had a close match, I think we'll say it's losable, right? So,
yeah, unless to have somebody that is going to be not a favorite the way Makai was or Chenzo was against Aymar, something like 25 just doesn't. You don't see the guys coming in as freshmen or first year varsity guys.
Yeah.
You just don't see a name
Yeah.
where you're like,
And if he's asking if there's a freshman that's going to come in and do it, that is just not happening.
Like with Makai, nobody probably predicted that except for maybe you, Spay. You thought?
yeah, no, I was very early on that train. Unlike some people.
I mean, I don't know that very many people would have predicted Makai Lewis to do that, but at least like looking back, you can say, all right, there was enough evidence to suggest like he's really, really good.
Yeah. My
And-
prediction was basically he's on my fantasy team, so he's going all the way, baby. And I know I put that like in the chat, like Makai's going to take this one, but at no point did I make an individual bet, like each match, like, oh, it's all Makai on that one.
Yeah,
Especially after the Flynn loss.
but it's like who yeah.
I kept the faith all through that loss.
That was such a weird match. Like
How'd you watch it?
it was like live on Missouri's
Okay.
platform or whatever. And then but only live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone. But yeah, it was a bizarre match. But I mean, looking back, like who has a result like that? Even at an age level Worlds or something at 125 that that we could see, right? I mean, I don't know, kind of Kurt, but is he going? Probably
Oh my
not.
gosh,
And he's
Kurt.
not. And he's not on that. And he's not on that level, right?
No.
So, I
Yeah.
don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it at 125.
Yeah. There's guys that could beat Spencer Lee, maybe but a freshman coming on. There's not gonna be a freshman that makes the finals at 25 this weight. I mean, you got Glory, you've got Pitch, Mueller, Rivera, Spencer, and maybe Soriano.
Yeah, top freshman would be like Joey Melendez, Jacob Camacho that we just talked about. Pat McKee is an interesting one from Minnesota, but you don't unless something happens over the year where they jump crazy levels. But Spencer's already at. They all have to jump a level, and then there's still levels to go.
And there's still 4 levels.
There's still 4 levels. Yeah. To get to the final boss.
Here's a couple questions.
Okay.
How would some of our second string freestylers do in Greco? Would Imar Ringer have a chance at a medal, or is the rest of the world that much better?
So this is my point. No. I mean, well, one, yes, if they made it their thing, but you can't be like, all right, I'm a Greco guy now.
Yeah.
It's the game is and I can't describe the nuances, but there are so many nuances to this thing that are different from freestyle that Imar could probably, maybe he can make a run and make a national team, maybe even make the team, right? But he would probably just get as great as he is. He'd probably get picked apart in the Greco game because he hadn't been doing the game. You have to do it for so long. So if Imar came out of college and says, you know what, I'm a Greco wrestler now forever, I'd be like, that's going to be interesting. In a couple years, give him a little time, maybe. But
you got to get reps. You can't switch styles.
It is so complicated.
No one else in the world is switching styles like that. They're all wrestling one weight class almost exclusively. Some of the top guys maybe practice in some other styles, but no one else thinks they could jump styles or whatever. Yeah. You're not going to get into, I don't know, jiu-jitsu or judo or something like that. I mean, that's the level of, that's how different a lot of these things are.
No, actually, they would be, our wrestlers would do better off at jiu-jitsu. I promise you, Kyle Snyder could win. Y'all don't know what this is, probably, but ADCC, I think Kyle Snyder could win it with a month of jiu-jitsu training. Just learning very basic stuff. It is so wrestling-oriented when it's no gi. I think a lot of our guys actually could. I'm already better off going jiu-jitsu.
No gi jiu-jitsu than he would be,
than Greco.
Yeah.
That's how similar jiu-jitsu and wrestling are and how different Greco and freestyle are.
And in Greco, consistent results are just so hard to come by, right?
Who is Alex Sanyon was this pillar of consistency and DMPs and forfeits in the finals, and Molina didn't play last year. Stable. Everyone's good, and even they have bad years they don't even place.
Yeah. Frankie Stabler, getting another medal is just cool. And those crazy weight classes. Then he has to beat was it Ryu or the South Korean in the repechage, who's a world champ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stabler.
Dude,
they love him. He's probably got the biggest individual following in the Greco-Roman world.
Not as big, but no one's as big as Mijan Lopez. I need that. I need that guy.
Literally.
So I was reading this. I think I was on the board, the mat, just reading, and it was about Mijan. Is he coming? Is he not? And basically, it was he just didn't want to cut down.
This 30 kilos.
He's the Cuban did his job in terms of qualifying the weight or whatever, and he'll just come and he'll take the spot.
But he did just roll up at Pan Am Games and just
obliterate,
throw everybody around the mat for fun. He's not training. He's not even training Greco.
His celebration after the Olympics in 2016 was incredible.
Half of the people left pregnant. It was the most sexually charged celebration of all time.
He did the suck it too.
He really did. Yeah. He gyrated and then he went,
Suck it.
No one is more disappointed that it's Pino Hines and not Mijan Lopez than Nomad right now, because he posts that clip all the time of Mijan.
Yeah. Well.
Also, the second question I want to get to, it's interesting because I think Spay and I have talked about it before, but it's from my name Jeff. Do you guys think Greco should add a type of leg-to-leg rule, allowing more opportunities to attack while keeping majority of the core purpose of the sport intact, forbidding hand-to-lower body holds and still emphasizing throws? So, sometimes you can get in trouble for when you go to do a throw, kind of taking your leg and hitting it into theirs.
Yeah.
Or even trips, like an
inside trip.
Like an inside trip or a foot sweep or something. I absolutely think they should.
Yes, totally. And the one thing about this that actually really annoys me about Greco is how they look so hard for leg fouls. They invent them sometimes.
Yeah.
The foot will be, to me, if it's close, you should err on offense for the love of the Lord.
Oh, what was it when Demas had an awesome hip toss, I think, at like Akron or something, and
It was not a leg foul.
Yeah, he had his foot planted in the mat.
Yeah.
Did not move it
They
or
just want to
anything.
call it. They just want to be cute sometimes and be like, it's
And
leg
everyone was
foul.
trying to say how it was a leg foul.
How?
Why are we taking away scoring opportunities?
Yeah, but if you imagine Greco where you can score leg to leg, like all of a sudden it's Greco wrestlers in freestyle stances, but they can't shoot. And I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that could be worse.
it'd be bad.
I like the idea just because. Well, I don't know. I like the concept of the idea. I have no idea how it would work. It's hard to conceptualize because you need people actually get proficient in this new rule set before you even know if it's going to be worth it for the fan. And I think Greco purists are going to say absolutely not. So it's
I'm
almost
sure
like
they
a
will.
point.
I don't know if you'll see that much of a change in like their stance and everything. I think you'll just see them be more aggressive and go for stuff
If
more.
you had those inside trips, though, that changes. You can't get up chest to chest
Yeah.
without having a huge threat of now you're off balance. You're going to go right to your back if you slip that leg in there.
Yeah.
Something. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. Hey, quick plug. That's a lot of how beach wrestling is because there's very little shooting in beach wrestling because if you drop to both knees to try to go for a double or whatever.
take it to
or
the
single,
sand.
You got to take it to the sand. You can't do it too early. But when you get some upper body stuff going, you get a lot of like inside leg hooks, some trips, some like an inside trip is one of the best moves for beach wrestling. So you get a little bit of that. You get the feel when you're watching beach wrestling that it's more Greco than it is freestyle almost because of the lack of mat wrestling and shooting like that.
Okay. Anything else, Bracky?
Someone asked me if Bill Zadig would sabotage 65 kilograms so he will forever be the last medal winner for the USA.
Ooh.
He
I
seems
don't
pretty
think he
spiteful.
would.
I don't think.
I'm not
I'm
willing.
like 80-20.
Yeah, I'm not willing to rule it out completely, but I
Yeah.
don't think he would.
I don't think he would do that. But
Also, is he there?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
So Bill is expecting, and his wife are expecting a child. So the child will not be born in Kazakhstan, born in the United States.
For some reason.
The wife did not want to fly to Kazakhstan to have. So yeah, Bill's at home.
I thought this one was good too. For you who are married, what do you tell your wives when they get frustrated with you being so distracted on your phones with wrestling, Twitter, and Instagram? Do you say, babe, you don't understand, this is my job?
You say that, right?
do
all
you-
say
do you
that.
have to
Babe,
deal with
chill
that?
out. Relax, baby.
Babe.
Any sentence you start with babe is usually good.
It always, they love it. They love it when you patronize them and
Tell
call
them to
them
relax. Say smile
babe.
more.
Chill out, babe. No, I don't know. At this point now, I'm coming up on 6 years at Flow and 12 years of being obsessed with it. She's kind of used to it by now. She's like, this is part of the thing. And so I think there's a little acceptance there. So I don't get that much really
No,
anymore.
me either. Olivia's pretty used to it now.
Yeah, it's just
No,
kind of.
I'm new to the getting paid for being for
Yeah.
being around thing. So I got a pro tip for those of you guys at home that don't get paid
Yeah.
to be a wrestling fan, which is it's like it's a psychology term called incentive bundling, right? So, so here's what
You didn't
do.
think you were going to learn anything on this
Here's what you do.
episode today.
Here's what you do.
This is definitely gonna be on the quiz, guys.
Here's what you do. Yeah, this is gonna be on the quiz. You partner you pair like an activity you want to do with something that's like helpful around the house or that you have to do, right? So like you're gonna watch
Naturally.
wrestling. You pull out that basket of laundry, and
Yes.
maybe it takes you 2 hours to fold it, but you're folding it while you're watching this.
Being
dual
very
meet,
precise
right?
with your folding.
Very-
It's going to last
very
the
precise. It's
entire
gonna last-
length of a dual meet, and you have to do nothing but fold.
Yeah, right. And everybody's happy. The laundry's folded, and you got to watch Iowa, Oklahoma State, and everything's great.
One thing that helps me as it now pertains to incentive bundling, watching wrestling with my son,
Yeah,
fatherhood.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, a little bonding time.
Yeah, a little bonding
Who-
time.
What mom is not going to want dad and
Yes.
and little son?
I've just gotten Olivia into it, so she wants to watch now too.
That
so,
helps. That's
yes.
a great move.
Yeah.
You need that's another thing. Get your ladies into the sport. Get them a Twitter handle, right? Get them involved. Show them the mat forums or Hawkeye Report.
Oh yeah, and then just let it fly.
Yeah.
Get them to Hawkeye Report after a tough duel for Iowa, and they could be hooked on the emotion alone.
Seriously, if you spend 10 minutes just going through a quick a quick bio of like Austin DeSanto and show a couple little like antics, then all of a
Show
sudden,
him the drama.
show them the drama.
I know,
and
that's
then, hey,
what Olivia
actually-
likes.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
actually, you know what?
It's what everyone
He's wrestling in
likes.
a couple hours.
Don't act like you don't like the drama,
You
because you
love
do.
the drama.
Yeah.
You love the drama. And we know it. We got the numbers to prove it. Y'all love the drama. Y'all
La-
are the dramatic ones, not us.
Last question. What's the info on Dayton's partner, the French guy?
Oh,
Want
Zoe.
to tell him about Zoe?
Zoe here, El Rock.
He French.
He's a French guy. I think he probably. I don't have the entire backstory. I just know he wrestles for free. He's a French national. The clips of him with Bader got one where they were practicing top and bottom. 'Cause they're
Stand-ups.
giving him like folk style
Yeah.
tips, and he's like yelling at Perry. He's like, "Not fair! No, you're cheating. This is not the rule." And has an adorable French accent. And they brought him on board. Trading partners come from all over. I don't know how exactly they
Yeah.
met or whatever.
I don't know how he got
I
to
think John
Stillwater.
Smith just told him you work here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Smith saw him at Worlds. He's like, come on.
I think he is no longer competing. Like I think he did compete even last year.
Yeah, John told him.
He
"You don't
did
compete
earlier this year.
anymore."
No, he wrestled somewhere like Kolov or something earlier this year. He took like 5th.
Did he really?
At
I thought-
50,
okay.
At 57 kilos. I don't know how he got over here or when he got to Stillwater, but we went up for the Iowa duel, and he was just there beating the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
He's
actually French.
He's impressive. He's
Yeah,
good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's very good. And I know they think he's helped Dayton a lot because he's really tough to score on when you're in on his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrestled at Euros, and Dan Koloff took 5th. European Championship took 7th.
This year.
Both in 2019. Those are only 2 tournaments. Had a more active schedule before that.
He's also really funny.
Age level
He is.
champ way
He's a
back
really
when.
cool guy. If you watch the Daring or Dake video, you can see him wrestling with my son, Caleb. And I'm not to brag, but no points went on the board during that exchange. So,
Well,
just saying.
He's won the Henri Delanier challenge multiple times.
With the pronunciations.
Henri,
Delane.
oui oui.
All right, I'm done with questions.
Bracky's done. 9/11. We should go another minute. Let's not in on.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say props to everyone who is destroying their sleep schedule, sucking it up at work all week. It's only going to get worse as men's freestyle starts, and you're going to want to stay up even later. Just don't sleep.
Yeah.
That's the only. There's no.
That's Nomad's solution. I feel like Nomad's entire life
is
peaks
for
him for world championship sleep schedules.
Yeah, when the worlds are in Central Asia, literally 12-hour difference from Central Time.
That's
yeah.
the kind of preparation it
This
takes.
is what
though.
Nomad's training for all year round.
But honestly, then when he goes, he kind of cops out because he's just living his life normally then.
Yeah, there's no sacrifice at that point for Nomad.
Yeah.
So maybe we should never let him go to the World
We shouldn't let him
Championships
go
again.
anymore. Shame on me.
I'm getting a little wistful thinking about 2014 and what a miserable but fun time that was, like on wrestling Twitter and just watching and
Just yelling about
Yeah.
not being able to watch.
Because you'd catch like 2/3 of the matches and then or like 2/3 of each match. Like it would just cut out. All of a sudden it comes back. You got 10 seconds left and like who's winning? Yeah.
I remember the very last day completely slept through a meeting and just had to have a coworker cover because I was on like no sleep and it was like a 9 a.m. on like a Thursday or Friday and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I blew that.
I've got breaking news for Spay.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
The Giants named Daniel Jones the starting quarterback
Wow.
this week.
Looks like some team is going to the Super Bowl again, baby. We'll CSI Miami.
Oh, we can't stop watching the CSI Miami compilation. I've never seen the show, but basically the guy gives a one-liner, and he's like, looks like we've got to clean up on aisle 5. And he goes, wow! And it goes and cuts to like the Who song.
The theme song.
I think
Yeah.
the CSI franchise had a pretty sweet deal worked out with the Who because like weren't all of their
Yeah, CSI Las Vegas was a Who song
was a Who
too.
song? It was
Yeah.
Who Are You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic. All right, well.
It's 9:13 now.
It's 9:13. We're ready to go. Lucky number 9:13.
Safe.
So I'm not sure who's. It could be Caleb, could be Josh, could be anyone with their finger over the button. I don't hear the music, so it wasn't hovering. But we're ready to go. Oh, this is not the song, but you know what? We'll go with it. I don't know what this is. This is horrible. I did not choose this song. But at this point, we have no other options. It sounds like a video that would be in a Flow Grappling vlog. Very Jim. You know, this is like go to San Diego and see him roll. But we'll see you next Thursday.
Is it a Rapish song?
No, it's got a little. I don't know.
I was gonna say it could be bootleg.
I don't know. You have to listen to it.
We got a bunch of cleared non-rights
All right.
music in our library.
Yeah, we have so many songs you've never heard. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you Thursday.